Hi everyone. What I'm wanting to talk about in this video is a pain scale. That is the number you give the doctor or nurse when you're talking about your pain, sort of between 1 and 10, and how you express that pain scale. What you'll see on the screen is what I came up with the help of a therapist friend of mine. We focused my pain on how it was impacting me. And when you're thinking about quality of life, that's the part, for me at least, that made sense to base the pain on. There are lots of other ways to do it, but that's what sort of clicked with me. So I wanted to share this with you. The reason I'm making this video is that I've just added this into my website. I've put a link for it down in the description of this video for you to look over. And then I wanted to suggest, when you're having a good day, that you sit down and you work out what your pain scale's going to be, and then you give a copy of it to the healthcare providers that work with you for managing your pain. If you want to use mine, I'm happy for you to do so. I've put it online for it to be used and not to be a decoration. You want to do something else for your pain scale? I'm also fine with that. The idea, though, is that you're consistent so that the doctors are able to actually help you fine-tune the pain. So if your scale's not sort of fixed and well defined, you're not going to get the fine-tune adjustments that will really help make the quality of life difference for you in managing whatever type of pain you experience, and in turn help you to be more functional. If you need someone to help you with this like I did, there is no shame in it. You know, part of this is being able to take care of yourself. So if you need a therapist to sit down and work this out with you, it's well worth the effort and the transparency that this involves, and there's no shame in it. Another way of doing this would sort of be define what a 3 is and a 7 is, and then we know 0 is none and 10 is the worst possible. And if you have those 4, 0, 3, 7, and 10, then it's easy to figure out what 8 and 9 is, and what 5 and 6 is, and then what 1 and 2 is, and then you've got your pain scale defined. So that's how I would do it if I was you. So I want to repeat this for a second time for those who need to hear it again. So we know 0 is none, and we know 10 is the worst that the pain gets. So if you define what a 4 is, then those first few numbers, 1, 2, and 3, you can sort of gauge between 0 and 4 and find ways of describing it. Then if you just define what a 7 is, then you can define 5 and 6 between the 4 and the 7, and 8 and 9 between what a 7 and a 10 is. And then if you stick to that scale, then you're going to end up with the most functional possible. So whatever it is that gives you joy in life, like I thoroughly enjoy going down to the water. It's 5 minutes from my home by wheelchair. Helps me relax, and I love nature and God's creation. So getting my pain under control means I've got the energy to go do that. So I don't know what that represents in your life, but for me, having my pain under control lets me do this and several other things in my life. So that's your motivation to work on this. It's okay if it takes a few days, but if it's taking more than a few days, I think you need to start asking someone to give you help, or if you're part of a Facebook group or whatever group, you bring it to them, and as a 5 or 6 people talking about it, and help it shape it for you at that time. So that's really what I had to talk about in this video, but honestly, this is more on you. It's something that you control that directly impacts your quality of life and will help you be more functional in day-to-day living. Thanks so much for the time you spent with me today. Bye for now.